Nowruz Mobarak. Happy Nowruz, everyone. Here we have the beautiful table, decorated graciously by my mother, Dayajan. But we have everything in that Haft-Sin. Now we discovered that several websites will list different main 7. Here we have several items on various lists represented. So I think we did a pretty good job. Ah, so beautiful. Now let's show you some home decor. This is the Takhti Jamshid. I formerly thought it was Cyrus the Great or Mesopotamian art, but Takhti Jamshid is actually what is known in English as Persepolis. And here we have the Kuknus bird. This bird is also known as the phoenix, is benevolent and compassionate, mythological Iranian bird that can also rise anew from the ashes. That was directly taken from the internet. Now this piece of art you see in a lot of Iranian households. She's wearing traditional Kurdish clothing. The name of her or this piece of art escapes me. I call her the pretty Iranian teapot lady who vaguely looks like my mom when she was young. A lot of family members disagree, but I still see it. And of course we have carpets. Carpets galore, a staple to have in any Iranian Kurdish home. And here we have, I kid you not, carpets that are specifically cut to fit a given area. We also have your walkway carpet and carpets that go in rooms. That cushion over there is where guests lounge and have tea. That's all, folks. Thanks for enjoying the tour. Now let's learn a bit more about Nowruz. Happy Nowruz, everyone. It is the new year for many Middle Easterners all around the world, celebrating a fresh new beginning, welcoming in spring and Mother Nature, rebirth, drinking ta and kand. I got my black tea here. You know, the traditional Sadaf black tea that every little Persian child is well familiar with. And then our little container of kand. Sugar cubes, for those of you who don't know. And by the way, I said ta because that's how Kurdish dialect pronounces it. People say cha or ta or, you know, chai. There's different pronunciations of a lot of words, you know what I'm saying? May or may not have just added this faux floral pattern just for the shot. It is quite beautiful, I must say. It adds some freshness, as it were. But yeah, here's the tea. Tastes really good. Normally when you drink this, it's piping hot. This is cooled down. So some of you may be wondering, what is Nowruz? Nowruz translates to new day. It lies on the vernal equinox every year, which is March 21st. Depending on the year and the region of the world that you live, it can also fall on the 19th or the 20th. Typically the first day of spring, so spring ushers in the new year. There are many ritualistic traditions that are carried through Nowruz. Different countries or different people who practice different religions might conduct or add on certain practices and traditions on their own as well. Today is actually Chwarshamba Suri, which is the Wednesday before Nowruz, and there are certain things that we do like jumping over fire, saying Serjimin Boto Suru Chobomin, which basically means my yellow to you and your red to me. Direct translations are horrible. Basically the whole point of that is to purify and get rid of negativity. So bring purity to the new year, leave negative things in the past and behind you. So it's a nice revitalization practice, ritual, and it's really fun to do. A lot of people gather in parks and there's a huge line and procession that goes through. There's music, dancing, food. It's a really great time. It's really fun. But yeah, with Nowruz, there are certain things that you put on the table. It's actually called Haft-Sin, which translates to 7S. So there is a little calligraphy that I'll insert that represents the letter S in the alphabet, and the 7 items that are placed on the table symbolize different things, and they all start with the letter S. And what those 7 things are, got my laptop here. Those 7 items are apples, which represent beauty, garlic, which represents good health, vinegar, which represents patience, hyacinth, representing spring, sweet pudding, representing fertility, sprouts representing rebirth, and coins representing prosperity. There are a lot of other things that you can add to the table, like a mirror, which represents self-reflection and introspection. There's also candles, which can be lit, which represents enlightenment and happiness. Within the 7, you can also add silverberries, which symbolize love, as well as sumac, which symbolizes the color of the sunrise. Cookies and sweets like these sugar-coated almond slivers. Painted eggs represent fertility. The goldfish represent life. You can put a book of poetry. If you're religious, you can put the Quran. Like I said, according to your specific traditions or background, you can add different things to your Nowruz table. Now, one of the rituals that ties in the Haft-Sin is where you get the sabzi, which is the growing green plant, and throwing it into the water. One year when we went to Chwach Sambasuri, we threw it into the lake, and basically what that represents is getting rid of misfortunes of the upcoming year. Another ritual where you're trying to get rid of negativity. Ultimately, Nowruz is a time of celebration, family togetherness, community, neighborliness, bringing in peace, fortune. It's a joyous occasion, and people often gather around and celebrate together. I remember a lot of different cities in Texas visited lakes and parks, and there'd be a lot of food, dancing. It's a happy time, and when you're at home, it's also enjoyable to be with family. You'll read poetry out loud, you'll dance, you'll do a lot of things. It's basically a time of togetherness. There's a lot of things that are into it. I actually encourage you to read more about it. It's always nice to learn about new cultures, practices, and traditions. A lot of different countries around the world have different types of New Year's celebrations. So have fun learning about the world. So I hope you enjoyed my take on Nowruz. It's just a general explanation. There are a lot of fine details that go into the celebration as well. I encourage you to look more into it. You never know. A lot of things could hit you in your core. Maybe you'd like to participate or visit a celebration respectfully, of course. I will see you next week with a new video. I have my different social media links down below. Feel free to check them out and follow. And with that, I'd like to say goodbye and Nowruz Mobarak. Thank you. Bye.